Coach, just take us through the preparation. The last few weeks, you had a few weeks off. How's it been going in the last week and a half?
Yeah, we had a week off, 3 weeks of hard prep. Some good work, some really hard work, physical work, lines identity work. I almost want to say that. So we feel we really had an exceptional 3 weeks. Last year, this time, because URC went into Currie Cup, went into URC, a large part of the group we didn't give a rest before Currie Cup last year. So last year November we had to give them 3 weeks rest, and then we only had a week to prep. So we feel a lot better prepared for the second block, which traditionally we haven't been that good. We spoke about it quite a bit, that we need to be a lot more consistent in the second block where EPCR starts. There's travel here and there, probably a bit of squad depth and rotation, as well as all the local derbies. We were quite open and honest about this block, and we need to be better with that.
Also take us through, not having Mornay and Asanati available this weekend. Is there enough depth to cover those two positions? Those are very critical positions for you guys. Is there enough depth there? Do you think the Bulls are going to come looking at those specific areas and target you guys there?
I think Nico, Leighton, Hash, all three is playing good. They offer something different. Obviously we're going to miss Mornay and we're going to miss Asa. They part of our leadership group. The acers, like we say in our team. The Bulls probably have a little bit more than us, but Arif is playing good rugby. Pierre is on form. He's playing good rugby. So luckily they're back next week for us. But yes, we will miss them, especially in person and the difference they make. But yeah, we also feel confident in the guys that need to replace them.
With all of this preparation and the Bulls, they had also welcomed back one or two new players from this box and stuff. Is there an opportunity to take advantage of maybe their lack of unity and preparation during the last block of weeks with the guys being at the Springboks? Is that maybe a weakness that you guys can exploit?
Well, to be honest, I'm not sure how many of the box they'll actually play. I think the majority of them are still going to be at the Springboks itself. If there's one or two coming back, they have played before the break anyway. So I think in terms of cohesiveness, the team that's going to play against us probably had this 3 weeks to prep as well. I think that what I heard is they also had quite a tough break in preparation. So now I think they'll be pretty well.
It's always tough up front with these derbies. Guys really go hammer and tongs at it. How do you use that to your advantage? Maybe try something a bit new when it comes to the forwards battle. Is there another plan to be had there, or is it just throwing the kitchen sink at them and hoping to break down, which is a very tough pack to break down?
Well, it's obviously their strength, their scrum, their maul, their set piece. I think the difference in the last year was their set piece really probably the top two in the competition. So that's the one side that you have to stop it. There's obviously plans around that, but there's also just fronting up and being physical and on the day just doing what you have to do. And then there's also, when we have the ball, how can we manipulate or how can we exploit? But for that to happen, you need to get set piece ball and you need to use it, and you need to get quick ball momentum to see how you can manipulate whatever plan you have. So I think it's going to be not just a physical game. I think it's actually going to be a quite tactical game on Saturday.
How important is getting a good result in this game, especially with the momentum that you've built after Ulster and looking towards the block in December?
Well, yeah, like I said, obviously we know this block we want to be quite a bit better with how we finished against Ulster and the schedule lying ahead. I think out of our next 8 games, 6 is away from home. So yes, it is a tough block. Yes, there's a lot of travel, but like you said, it's important for us to try and keep the momentum and build something that really gets momentum. And with the travelling, with some guys being here, then some guys away, we feel that we laid a good foundation in the last 3 weeks to be able to manage that. The Saturday's result is huge for us in that sense.
The Griquas players that you guys invited to join on loan, are they up for this weekend? How's their development and their gelling into the team going? Because especially at hooker, it's going to be important that Yanka gets, really acclimatized quickly to the system.
Yeah, so unfortunately he's got a little bit of a niggle, but all three of them slotted in well. Obviously taken a bit of time to really get into the structures and get to understand it how we did. Again, this 3 weeks was gold in terms of that. So from this weekend, and especially they were brought in especially for this block when we get travelling and when we get rotating. So no, all of them have prepared well. They look sharp, they look fit, they look ready.
The other one, and we don't have to obviously go into the details of that specific legalities of it, but obviously the Bronson situation has made it a bit, your depth at centre might be a bit tested. Are you confident that you've got the players to take you forward for the next 6 weeks, 8 weeks in that department? Yeah, you tried to play Creole there, didn't seem to quite work out as nicely perhaps as you guys wanted. Is there maybe a problem at inside centre specifically?
We don't think so. The 3 losses we had on tour when he played 12 wasn't specifically up to him. It is a little bit different when you play where as well Jonker had a niggle, he's back to full training. Bronson is training well, played exceptionally well against Ulster. Finca is a 21 player that joined us, he's looking sharp. So yes, we don't have 2 or 3 Springboks there, but in terms of how we want to play, we believe we've got players that can do the role for us.
Obviously, I also bring that up because it specifically relates also to Henko, in his situation. He probably needs a playmaker next to him to unlock and help him push into the midfield. Who is the right person for Henko to get the best out of him?
Henko's exceptional in running shoulders. He's exceptional at attacking the line and getting your momentum and go forward. So the ideal player is someone that can have the timing to give him that opportunity and create a 50-50 which he can exploit. And like I said, in terms of profile, we believe someone like Richard or Jonker or Bronson do give that to you, creating that half gap or putting him early enough into space. Also, push comes to shove, we can always move into 12 as well later in the game if anything happens, and then that changes the dynamic a little bit as well.
Coach, I also asked this question, I guess, every season of you. How important is the Challenge Cup for you guys this year? Is it going to be a real effort to push? You guys are always trying to win all of the games, but like a concerted effort, maybe play a bit more of a first choice team when you guys are overseas to try and maybe get deeper into the competition?
I'm glad you said the second part. We always take it very seriously. We made the knockout rounds every single year. Unfortunately, it was away. That doesn't help. The first year we played Racing here, and then we went away in the semi-final, which we lost against Glasgow. And again, just saying it's not a fact serious or not serious when you go to Newcastle and it's -5 and it's been snowing for the last 2 weeks. With a tough away travelling schedule anyway, is it the risk worth? Do you want to put the extra travelling miles on some players? That's a decision that we have to make. We also feel confident that the group has really grown and evolved, and we've got a group that even if you pick out alternate team to Newcastle or Perpignan, that we can actually really get a result and then almost service both competitions simultaneously.
And then lastly, after this block of fixtures, where would you like the team to be in? Where would you be in both competitions, in the URC and in the EPCR? What is the ultimate objective and goal after this block? Where would you like to see the team sit in both competitions?
Well, obviously, with 4 EPCR games, and I'll start there, with 4 EPCR games, if we can win at least 3 of the 4, I think we should be able to get a home round of 16. If you then win that, it's a home quarter-final. I believe that the semi-final and final is still another final as well, but I think the semi-final is still away. So give yourself that opportunity, and then the URC, maybe 8th or 9th or 10th or whatever in that spot. I think if we can establish ourselves in the top 6 come Feb, even though it's all derbies and tough games, that'll mean that we have to be exceptional away from home and beat the South African teams at home. So that'll be a goal. Like I said, the last 2 seasons we had to catch up in the 3rd block, where this season hopefully we can get ahead earlier.
Yes.